what is happening now is it seems like you think your base is stupid. That's how I feel. I feel like Trump thinks his base is stupid, or again, because I don't think he's pressing send on these messages, the people around him certainly think that Trump is stupid.
Watch this as Candace Owens delivers her strongest words yet against Donald Trump. Once his fiercest defender, she now says he has betrayed the very movement that put him in power.
Are you done with Donald Trump, or could you see a way that you would end up perhaps voting for him?
What I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment, and I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen, and it is happening. But I just think that the picture of politics in America is going to look very differently because of his actions. So I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. But this is not the candidate that I voted for.
Candace Owens has stunned many people by changing her tone on Donald Trump. For years, she was one of his loudest defenders, standing on the front lines whenever his critics came after him. But now, something has shifted. She openly calls him a chronic disappointment and admits she feels embarrassed for once telling people to vote for him. Coming from someone as influential on the conservative side as Owens, this is not just a personal rant, it's a turning point.
I never thought that I would see a day where I would be rooting for a university above Donald J. Trump and his administration. But I don't recognize his administration right now. I don't recognize what's happening. I have a theory. I do. We were kicking around some theories earlier, me and the team, and we were going, how could Trump be such a free speech enthusiast and allowing these things to happen? Going after college universities, trying to suppress speech, while pretending that you're not suppressing speech, while pretending that you're fighting DEI. It's so messy. It's so obvious. Everyone knows what you're doing. People who are still trying to grift, I suppose, are not willing to challenge you on this, which is ridiculous, because when you are out of office, we are going to have to live with these consequences. Our children are going to have to grow up in this America, okay? So when you threaten our speech, it's not worth it so that we can have pom-poms and go hurrah for a couple of years, then go, okay, well, yeah, now it kind of stinks because, we're getting arrested for wrongthink. We got David Friedman. Yeah, arrest him. Arrest Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Get them. I love it. And if you think it's going to stop with college campuses, you're out of your mind. So you better buck up and root for Harvard University in this fight.
She points out the contradictions in Trump's leadership. On one hand, he claims to champion free speech. On the other, his administration has allowed actions that silence voices instead of protecting them. Owens calls it messy and obvious. She warns that these decisions won't just fade away after Trump leaves office. They will leave lasting consequences for our children and for America itself. Look at what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. He was suspended for speaking his mind, even though he was later brought back on air. The fact that someone with such influence could be silenced, even temporarily, is a chilling reminder of how fragile free speech has become. Owens warns that this isn't just about universities or celebrities. It's about all of us. If they can shut down voices at that level, what chance does the average American have?
Let's be clear. Right now, the people applauding Donald Trump are Meghan McCain, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz ran against Donald Trump, and John McCain, with his dying breath, was a never-Trumper, with his dying breath. And I remember Meghan McCain standing at his funeral saying, this country was always great. It never needed to be made great again, to take a stab at Trump, even as she was giving words for her father, which is remarkable, right? So if Trump is aligning himself with the people that didn't support him, and the people that did support him are saying what he's doing is wrong, that doesn't mean that MAGA betrayed Trump. That means that Trump is betraying MAGA, okay? MAGA is a term, make America great again. And it was because the American people felt like our country was in a steep decline while we were being told that we had to build up every other country with programs. We had to spread democracy in the Middle East. That's been a remarkable failure. And at the same time, our veterans are coming home and they're being treated like crap. We talked about the farmers. We talked about the ranchers. That was the vision that Donald Trump painted that made me get behind him. And I took a lot of bullets for that. And I still don't regret voting for him against Kamala Harris because I still believe he was the better candidate. But this is a betrayal, plain and simple. There's no other way to say that.
What's even more frustrating to her is Trump's new alliances. Instead of staying true to the MAGA movement, Owens says he's cozying up to people who were never with him to begin with, people like Meghan McCain and Ted Cruz. And while they're applauding him, the very people who built the movement are saying he's wrong. She makes it clear, MAGA didn't betray Trump. Trump is betraying MAGA. That's not politics as usual. That's betrayal, plain and simple. Perhaps the harshest blow Owens delivers is her belief that Trump, or at least those closest to him, think his supporters are stupid. For years, his base has taken every hit, every insult, every attack from the media because they believed in him. Now, to hear someone like Candace Owens say that his actions suggest he looks down on the very people who stood by him, that cuts deep. And this is where Owens sets herself apart. One thing I admire most about her is that she puts America first. She doesn't blindly follow politicians or parties. She watches closely, and when a leader strays from the promises made to the people, she speaks up. That takes courage. Too many Americans tie themselves to political parties instead of the country, and that blind loyalty is why politicians get away with betrayal. Owens shows us that loyalty should be to America, not to a party, not to a politician, not even to someone you once defended with all your heart. She's willing to sacrifice her connection and friendship with Donald Trump, someone she fought hard for, because holding him accountable matters more than protecting his image.